Hello everybody, TK here, and I really need a video, so I apologize if this video doesn't turn out well. I think it is gonna be a good video, but it's not as planned out as my other stuff, because right now I have nothing. I have things on the way to me, and yes, I am wearing a fucking jack-o'-lantern shirt. I have nothing else clean, I'm sorry. But, yes, I wanted to make a video because, you know, the YouTuber like to make videos, especially for, you know, the people who watch my content and enjoy my content, so I want to get something out there, but right now I just don't have anything. I have stuff on the way to me, very exciting stuff on the way to me, but right now I have nothing, so I'm actually going to make a video here. I'm going to attempt to make a video. Whether I upload this video or not remains to be seen, whether the quality is up to par here, but one video that I was thinking about making for a while was comparing the Figma Jujutsu Kaisen figures versus the SHF Figuarts Jujutsu Kaisen figures, and this was something that was even one of my subscribers actually requested that I make this video to help them decide which line they want to collect. So I figured I need a video right now. Again, I hope this video does turn out well. I don't know for sure because this isn't as planned. It's not something I'm as passionate about, but I do think it could be a helpful video. So let me just get into it. Let me just jump right into it. Now, first thing I'm going to say before I get into this is that the honest answer to this question of whether you should buy the Figma or the SHF Jujutsu Kaisen figures is that you honestly should just buy both of these lines, because I have 3 figures from both of these lines and all 6 of these figures are absolutely fucking phenomenal. They are really well done figures, both the SHF and the Figmas. Now, I will tell you straight off the bat that I personally prefer the Figmas, but I am a huge fan of Figmas, and my eye is just kind of trained for Figmas. I look at a Figma and I see a wonderful action figure. You might look at a Figma and see a piece of shit, and you might look at an SHF and say, that looks infinitely cooler. And hey, if that's you, then that's you. But me personally, I'm the exact opposite. I absolutely love Figmas, and so I do very much prefer my Figmas. I have 3 SHFs, and I prefer all 3 of my Figmas over all 3 of those SHFs, so I do want to make that clear, but that is not to say that I do not have anything good to say about the SHF figures. I have lots of good things to say about the SHF figures, and to prove that, we're going to jump into this right now. I've got my Utah SHF here to help me out with this, because we're going to be going over all of the pros of the SHF over the Figma. The first pro, and the absolute biggest pro by far for me when it comes to these SHF figures, is the price. These figures, you can pretty much get 2 of these for the price of 1 of the Figmas, which is really amazing, and you're not really sacrificing quality really at all, honestly. Now, Figma does have things over these, and we'll talk about that in a second, but for the most part, these are excellent action figures, and like I said, you can get 2 of these for the price of 1 of the Figmas. These will usually run you around 45 bucks a piece. They do, so their retail price is 60 bucks a piece, about around 60 to 62 bucks, but all of these Jujutsu Kaisen SH Figuarts figures, all of these have dropped down to like 45 bucks in the aftermarket. You can pretty reliably get them for about 45 bucks, meaning that you could get 2 for about the same price as 1 of the Figmas. So that's a big pro right there. Like, you get 2 members of the team for the same price you would pay for 1 member of the team if you go the way of the Figmas. So that's my first pro. My next pro is, I will admit that in my opinion, the SH Figuarts do feel a little bit nicer to pose. And that is not to say that the Figmas don't feel nice to pose, but the SH Figuart figures to me feel very robust. Like, when you move these joints, they feel really nice to move, and they just feel like they're more made to move. Now, the Figmas still pose really nicely, and I do really enjoy posing my Figmas, but there's something about like the joint construction here. Like, for example, these leg joints right here. Actually, you know, a really good example I want to give here, this is something I've always liked about the Nobara SHF, is the way that these elbows work. Look at the design of this elbow compared to the standard Figma elbow. So that's the design of that elbow, and that is the design of the standard Figma elbow. The Figma elbow just has that weird little like hinge peg, like I think it's called a swivel hinge swivel, something like that. This, however, has this really robust like double hinge system right here, and it's really excellent. And I also think that this would definitely never break under any pressure whatsoever. I've learned with Figma that you need to try and be a little careful with it, because I have my white blood cell Figma right here, and his arm actually snapped off just from moving it, which really freaked me out when it happened, and now I'm extra careful when I move the elbows on my Figmas. It really scared me a little bit. I think I might be overcautious about it, but I do want to point that out, and this is not a problem with SHF SHF. Now, I'm not saying that these will, I'm not saying that the Figma Jujutsu Kaisen figures are prone to breaking or anything like that. I'm just saying that I've had that experience with that white blood cell Figma, and it's kind of put me on edge. That's the one time I've ever broken a Figma, so do keep that in mind. But let's move on with the video. But yes, in my opinion, these do feel a little nicer to pose, I will admit. And they do kind of hold their poses a little bit better as well. They're very, very nice and snug. Like these figures, they don't really jiggle or wobble at all. Now, the Figmas don't really either, except for Megumi is ever so slightly loose, but no, honestly, I bet if I picked him up and I jiggle him around, yeah, it's fine. It's completely fine. So that's not really part of this pro. The main pro that I'm going over here is the smoothing, the smoother posing joints that are just a lot more fun to pose, in my personal opinion. And my final pro of the SH Figuarts figures over the Figma figures is that you do not have to wait so effing long to get these damn things. SH Figuarts was just much, much faster when it came to releasing their Jujutsu Kaisen figures as opposed to Figma. By the time Figma got one of their Jujutsu Kaisen Figmas out, SHF had already made 5 characters, the entire team, and was already moving on to other stuff, which is really, really, really amazing. You literally had the whole team before Figma even got one out, which is a huge pro in my opinion. You don't have to wait as long for these figures. For Figmas, when they get announced, it's like, yes, this is awesome, but I'm gonna have to wait like a year and a half before I actually have this in plastic in my hand. But with an SHF, that Gato, I think it's coming out in a couple of months, dude. It was announced only a couple months ago. It's really awesome to not have to wait so goddamn long for these figures. And I do think we're kind of getting more figures from SHF. Now, Figma's definitely catching up. They've got Yuta and Toge on the way. They have already given us Nanami, but yes, SH Figuarts I do think are putting out more figures, but that's probably, but another reason for that is because SH Figuarts is focused a lot more on Jujutsu Kaisen, where Figma tries to do lots of different anime, although SH Figuarts is branching out as well. They're doing Spy Family, not very well, but they are doing it, and they're doing Chainsaw Man, so there is pros and cons there, but with that is pretty much all of my pros of the SH Figuarts Jujutsu Kaisen figures over the Figmas. Now let's go over the pros of the Figmas, and by far I'm gonna pick up Yuji because he's my favorite, as you all know. By far the biggest pro about the Figma figures over the SHF is just undoubtedly the accessories and the fun factor with these figures compared to the SHFs. Now this isn't a full-on thing. I will admit that like both of these figures, the Yuta and the Nobara, are extremely fun figures to mess with, and they come with excellent accessories. But on the other hand, there's like like Gojo, for example, or the new Sukuna that's coming out. Just looks very basic and very boring, you know, alternate faces, alternate hands, and not really anything all that creative. But Figmas, they go so crazy with these freaking figures. You get a Black Flash with Yuji, for example. You get an alternate Sukuna face. Now, yes, their Yuji does come with an alternate Sukuna face as well. I do think the Figma one is a lot better, though, I will say that. But yeah, it doesn't come with a Black Flash. It doesn't have anything like super, super duper creative. Although for the most part, the Yuji is actually pretty similar to the Figma Yuji. I don't have the SH Figuarts Yuji, but I've seen pictures of it. I've seen it online, obviously. And yes, it does have a similar thing. It does have similar cursed energy effects, and it does have a Sukuna face. But in my opinion, this is just opinion, but I will say that I think the Figma really has much better of those. Like the cursed energy effects and the Sukuna face for the Figma, I think are just infinitely better on the Figma than they are on the SHF. And then the accessories thing, that is something that absolutely, and the thing I'm going to go over here is with Nobara here. The Nobara SHF, while an excellent figure, do not get me wrong, there are just so many accessories that I really, really would have liked to get with this figure that are coming with the Figma Nobara later on in this year. For example, a cursed energy effect would have been really cool. Her straw doll and any kind of face that symbolized that covered Nobara's more goofy, happy side, along with her really badass and psycho side. All those accessories are missing from this figure, in my opinion, and all of those accessories are being included with the Figma Nobara. So that is my main thing I love about the Figmas over the SHF, is they're just more fun. And another prime example of this is Gojo. Gojo is a huge example of this. I do own the SH Figuarts Gojo, and it is a solid figure, but it just has alternate faces, an alternate head, and a bunch of alternate hands, and that's literally it. But with this Figma Gojo, you get multiple different hair pieces. You get 3 heads, all with completely different hair pieces, and you get different hair pieces to use as well that you can use with any of the faces. It is super, super creative. Not to mention arms that let you pose him to where his hands are in his pocket. Do be a little bit careful with those pieces. This is a quick update to this Figma Gojo. I've been wanting to make an update to this, but I just, haven't had, I don't know. But I've been wanting to talk about this for a while. I've been noticing with my Gojo, I've been noticing some slight stress marks in his elbows right there, which once again scaring me with this thing. But I think it's because of me constantly popping off his arms and changing them with the hands where his pockets are in his hand. So be careful with that. Maybe you might want to either be really careful when you switch them out or just don't switch them out. I don't think I'm gonna have any problems here. Like, I've been messing with him a lot, bending the elbow, and it seems fine. I don't think it's gonna be any kind of problem whatsoever, but I did want to acknowledge that. So did want to just acknowledge that real quick. So be careful with those arms that have his hands in his pocket. But it's just a really, really awesome looking Figma. And I will say also that I think this Figma is also superior to the SH Figuarts Gojo in just the look overall. Now I'm going to get into this more in a second here, but just his hair is so much more vibrant on this SH Figuarts. His face and his skin tone is just so much more vibrant and just looks so much nicer on the shelf. The SH Figuarts figure to me really looks like a prototype of this figure, when this figure is kind of the finished result in my opinion. So those are my 2 main examples when it comes to the accessory thing. But I'm actually going to keep Gojo in my hand for this next example, and that is, in my opinion, the aesthetic of these Figma figures over the SH Figuarts. In my personal opinion, the Figma figures do look better than the SH Figuarts. They are slimmer. They have a matte finish on their outfit as opposed to a very shiny, glossy outfit. That's personal preference, so if you prefer the shiny, glossy outfit, you might prefer this. But the big thing here, and one thing I want you to keep in mind with this thing, is that I am a fan of the Jujutsu Kaisen anime. I do not read manga, and I have not read the Jujutsu Kaisen manga, so I have no attachment to the manga whatsoever. I watch and I love the anime, and this is far more accurate to the anime. The proportions are more accurate. The look of the character is more accurate, where this is a lot bulkier, and this might be more accurate to the manga. I wouldn't know it, but I have heard people say that these are a little bit more accurate to the manga. So if you're more of a fan of the manga and you prefer that aesthetic, this pro might just go over to the SH Figuarts. But this is my video, and in my personal opinion, the aesthetic of the more anime accurate Figmas is superior to the SH Figuarts. Personally, again, this is a completely subjective opinion, and this could absolutely transition back to the SH Figuarts. And that's going to do it for what, in my opinion, are the pros of the Figmas over the SH Figuarts. Now, before we move on to my final verdict, which again, I've pretty much already spoiled at this point, I want to just hammer home that the proper answer to this question is to buy both of these lines, because both of these lines are exceptional. The SH Figuarts Jujutsu Kaisen figures are really, really, really great. They're the reason I ever started buying SH Figuarts, and it hasn't really stretched to their other lines, like their Spy Family figures. I have been extremely disappointed in. But their SH Figuarts, but their Jujutsu Kaisen figures have been pretty much knockout home runs from start to finish. I don't really care for this Gojo anymore since getting the Figma. I've actually packed him up back in his box, and I've stuck him back in my closet, and I'm not really sure what I'm planning on doing with him. But if I did not have this Figma Gojo, this is an excellent figure, and I really I can't take anything away from it. I do think the Figma is better, but this is still an excellent figure. And a lot of people might prefer this, especially if they prefer the more manga aesthetic as opposed to the anime aesthetic that the Figmas go for. But I highly recommend and encourage people to buy both of these lines, because if you don't buy both of these lines, and if you don't have to overlap characters. Like if you bought the SH Figuarts Yuta and you like it, you probably don't need to go pick up the Figma that's coming out. So yeah, there's that. But on the other hand, these companies are releasing different characters. For example, the SH Figuarts are making Gato, and they're making a dedicated Sukuna figure. Now, and personally, I think the Sukuna figure is looks really phoned in. I'm not gonna go too hard with that because I haven't seen any reviews of it. So once reviews start coming out, if it looks good, I'll make my opinion on it then. But I really wish instead of going with just the shirtless Yuji look, they had given him his robe that he's know, that he's always in, especially in like, you know, when they're talking in Yuji's mind. I feel like that would have been just a way cooler fucking figure as opposed to just Yuji with his shirt off from the first couple times you see Sukuna in the anime when he fights in the fight versus Gojo and then later in the fight with Megumi. I don't know. Personally, I think that figure looks a little bit phoned in, but Geto looks the exact opposite of phoned in. And if you go exclusively with the Figmas, then you're going to miss out on what is probably going to be one of the best figures SH Figuarts releases this year in that Geto. And then with Figma, if you skip out on all of the Figmas and you just go exclusively SH Figuarts, Figma is giving us our boy Kento Nanami, which is the Jujutsu Kaisen figure that I am the absolute most excited to get in the upcoming months here. In the upcoming months here. He should be coming out relatively soon. And yeah, that's the one I'm the most excited for. And I think that one will almost I think that figure is literally going to be one of the best of the entire year. It looks absolutely fucking extraordinary. And if you go all in on SH Figuarts and refuse to buy Figmas, you're going to be missing out on that thing. But don't worry. If you are worried about that, you can watch my review when I get it, and we will make sure if it actually is like that. Because you know, can't jump the gun too fast. You know, Megumi had some problems, so I really love the Megumi, and I really love that figure. Like, it has not changed. I really love that figure. But you know, you will never know. You'll have to wait until my review pops up. But yeah, with that, I have gone over pretty much everything that there is to go over with the Figmas over the SH Figuarts Jujutsu Kaisens. Again, to reiterate, the proper answer to this is to buy both of these lines. Get the characters that only appear in both these lines if you want them. If you want a Geto, get Geto. If you want a Nanami, get Nanami, and create and cross them, because these figures work phenomenally together. Having the SH Figuarts Nobara here with the rest of the team right there, it looks perfect. She blends right in. You never even know she's from a different line. If I took this SH Figuarts Gojo, took out the Figma, and popped him right there, boom, blends right in. No problem whatsoever. These figures go together absolutely perfectly. So there's really no reason to discriminate between the two lines. But I will also reiterate before we leave this that in my personal opinion, and again, this is very personal opinion, I do personally prefer these Figmas over these SH Figuarts. I can say with absolute certainty that if I had to rank all of my Jujutsu Kaisen figures that I have so far, literally all of the Figmas would be topping the list and the SH Figuarts would be going behind. Honestly, you know what? Just to make this more fun, I will actually do that. I will rank all 6 of my figures I have. So number 1 is Yuji. Absolutely no questions asked. Yuji is literally one of my favorite Figmas in my entire collection. I love that figure. Then Gojo, the Figma Gojo. And then the Figma Megumi, and then SH Figuarts Nobara, and then SH Figuarts Yuta, and the SH Figuarts Gojo running up the lead, running up the rear there. So there you have it. I think that is going to do it for this video. I think it turned out pretty well. I think it was entertaining enough, and hopefully it was helpful for some people out there, or hopefully, you know, you got some entertainment out of it. That's all I'm really here for, isn't it? So at the end of the day, that's all I'm really here for. So without further ado, thank you all so much for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, maybe give me a like and subscribe for some more Jujutsu Kaisen figure reviews in the future, because we are going to be there's some exciting ones coming out this year, and plenty of other anime action figures as well if you are also just into anime, because yeah, I am too. I am I love anime so much. And yeah, with that being said, thank you for watching, and this is DA Guillotine, signing out.